Hey guys, we got a Q&A today. So you guys buckle up. This one's pretty good, especially for a lot of you beginners. I got a question today, and it was, what is the best way to get started when it comes to networking? When it comes to starting your kennel? Like how to network as a beginner, basically. And I'll tell you guys, a lot of people probably don't want to hear this, but the very best answer is to co-own. And I would not even say co-own a male, co-own a female. So find a breeder that's a reputable breeder and get a really nice quality female off of them and co-own that female with them. Because if you're just starting out, you're jumping into a pool of piranhas. I mean, that's how it is out there. So when you're first getting started, go co-own a really nice female with somebody who's reputable, who has a nice foundation built, who's working on building a really nice bloodline, and they're working with really good stuff. And you see them doing things. They produced a couple champions. They've got some good stuff going their way. They got some good stuff going on. They've kind of, built a reputation. That's who you want to get involved with. Somebody that you see promoting really hard, working their butts off, because when you co-own a female with them and they know what they're doing, you're not just getting, I co-own a female with this person, okay? That person's gonna mentor you. So your first litter you have with that female, they're gonna know what's behind the female. So they can help you choose the correct stud for that female, okay? You can tag them in posts that you make. You can talk their ear off about, hey, what am I looking for? Hey, what am I trying to improve on with this female? Hey, what should be the goal? What am I trying to keep off this? Pick the ear of that person that you're co-owning with and you're networking with, and they're going to lead you in the right direction. If they've done things right and they've, worked their butt off and they've created that reputation, they've produced a few champions, they know what direction to point you in as far as breeding goes. They're going to know how to help you choose a puppy off your first litter. Don't just go into this with a huge ego thinking, oh, I'm going to buy this and I'm going to kill it. That's not how it works, okay? You could have the nicest female out there. If you don't have any kind of reputation built, you don't have any kind of platform you've built on social media, on different platforms, you don't have anything going for you, you could have one of the nicest females and you're going to put together a pretty nice breeding, but no one knows who you are. Even if you think you know what a nice dog looks like, what a nice puppy looks like, if you haven't done this before, if you haven't chose, pups out of a litter, you haven't seen certain bloods click with what you're working with or certain puppies develop, you have no experience in that part of it. It's going to be tough for you. It's going to be tough for you to make a decision on picking a pup. It's going to be tough on you to promote the puppies and sell the puppies because you don't have that reputation. You don't have that foundation built. And that's a really big deal. So co-owning a female with someone is one of the best ways of networking, especially if you're co-owning a female with somebody who's really solid, who has a really good foundation they've put together, and they have some great things going for them. They're going to help you choose the correct stud for your female. They're going to help you as far as selling puppies because you can tag them. They're going to help share your post. They're going to help get your name, get the word out there. Because everybody that recognizes them and sees what they're doing, as soon as they start sharing your stuff, the female you have going, they're going to show you how to take good pictures of them. They're going to show you how to promote correctly. If they're a good mentor, they're going to show you the best angles of that dog to promote, to post. They're going to show you how to take pictures of a dog because there's levels to all of this stuff. Okay, it's not just, oh, I'm going to take a picture of this female. She's super awesome. You have to take good quality pictures, and I mean angles are a big deal. Angles, lighting. What are the best features and traits that this dog has? What are you trying to show off? They're going to show you how to show off your female in her best form. And that's going to help you. So getting all those tips, the mentoring, the tagging, the picking their ear all the time about, what stud to use, what direction to go, and you may ask a couple different people and see what their thoughts are as well. But having a mentor like that and co-owning a female with someone is a huge way to get started in this, and it's going to help you out. It can help you sell your puppies for twice as much on your first litter or two. Because a lot of times people will have their first litter and they have no luck selling them, and then they just give up, they throw in the towel, and they want to give up. When in all reality, they're already set on a really good path. They just didn't have that platform that they could have utilized and shared basically with someone else who already has something really good going. That's a really good way to get into the whole, hey, I'm going to be a breeder and network with someone. That's a real good way to get started, guys. That's probably the very best way to get started. And then you got to make sure you use a really nice stud that's either producing their butt off or that's a young up and coming stud that's like the next hottest thing. But you also have to make sure that stud's going to complement your female. And like I said, if you co-own a female with somebody who has a good reputation, who's doing things right, they're going to help lead you in the right direction. And that's going to help your kennel take off 3-4 times as fast. Another thing you can do is take your dog to shows that are local. You know, don't go crazy traveling all over the place if you don't have the money, but just go to local shows, meet a few people that you see online, talk to a few people, see some dogs. You know, you can go watch some of my videos on structure, on movement, stuff like that. Go to these shows, look at the dogs, watch what dogs are getting ribbons, pay attention to the dogs, pay attention to the handlers, all of that kind of thing, and you'll be able to see some really nice studs in person. And like I said, you'll be able to get some insight from other people that are there, and it's just a real good way to network. Going to shows locally, meeting a few people in the area, you know, letting them see your female, hearing their thoughts on what they think about your female. All that stuff's going to help a lot. And if you're just sitting at home and you're not working toward trying to network, you're not working towards trying to connect with people and conversate with people and talk dogs, you're going to be behind. You've got to get out there. You've got to talk to people on the phone. You've got to hit up other breeders. You've got to go look at certain studs, ask for videos of them, ask for pedigrees, study other pedigrees and stuff and how they produced. All that stuff's going to help you network when you're trying to grow. As the next question is very similar to the first question, but it said how to get started in promoting. So first things first, I get the old phrase, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But if you're breeding a very, very popular dog that's already very heavily line bred, and then you're going to take that to another dog that is related to that dog and already line bred, and you're just following that same hype train that everybody else is doing on that side of the road, on this side of the road, on that side of the road, all you're doing is doing the same exact thing that everybody else is doing. And I get it. If it works, it works. That's fine. But there's already so many other breeders that have been doing this for a while that are already doing that same exact thing. So you're not doing anything to set yourself apart from others. And one of the biggest ways that I started out was we did an inbreeding with Grand Champion Samson to his own daughter. And we talk about that on our channel and stuff quite a bit because that was huge breeding for us. You know, that's really set us apart from a lot of other people. We were the first ever to inbreed Samson. And we sold a lot of the product off those breedings. 3 of them to the UK and 2 of them to China. And I believe one of their offsprings off of one of those offsprings is already in China. It was one of those things where it was like big sales. Like, hey, you know, this is a big deal. Being internationally known is a huge deal, especially when you're talking about dogs. We're breeding dogs, you know, for God's sake. You're sending a dog that you bred. People from another country want to buy your dog that bad from multiple countries. And I think we even have one in Canada. We do, yeah. One in Canada. So 3 different countries, you know, off the same breeding, basically. It's crazy, you know. So set yourself apart. Do something completely different. That's what we did. Then the second thing that we did was really big. Was we bred Samson to a Brim daughter. And that's what created Horos, Bully Barnes Champion Horos. And that alone was the first time that Brim ever met Samson. That was something that I wanted to do. I felt like Brim complemented Samson very, very well. So we bred the 2 together, basically, and we had a really good outcome. And he's one of the top 5 most extreme pockets in the country right now, and he's a champion. Not just extreme, he's an actual champion. And that's something to be proud of. But that set us apart, you know, from others. We were doing something completely different. We weren't doing what everybody else was doing, you know? And that's a big key. So the promotion side of things is you have to find a way to get attention, basically. People are different, and you do something completely different than what everybody else is doing. You may not get a lot of attention right at first, but you have a lot of people's attention. You know, they're not going to show it. They're not going to like it. They're not going to love it just yet until you show them what you can do with it. So don't be scared to jump out on a limb. Risk it. Go out on that branch, you know, a little further and do something out of the ordinary that not everybody's doing. So that's a big thing for catching attention, is just doing something completely different. Because if you're doing the same thing everybody else is doing, how is that going to catch anybody's attention? It's not. That's one of the biggest things on promotion. And another thing I want to talk about real quick on promotion is everything that you post is promotion. Like self-image, you know, how you carry yourself, the posts you make. And I don't care if it's on Instagram, like any kind of social media platform, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, whatever it is. Everything you post, it's all promotion. So I would say carry yourself with intentions of having like a good impression. No matter what you post on social media, people see it. You know, if that's your business, that's your page, promote yourself in whatever way you see fit, but do it boldly, you know, do it confidently. Keep the drama out of it. You know, that's the biggest thing. Is a lot of people that post negative stuff, or they want to bash some other breeder, or, you know, anything negative. I don't do that stuff. You know, that's one thing. Like, you just keep negative stuff away. You know, it's toxic. It's toxic to your promotion, to your environment. You don't want that crap around. So stay positive all the time. Care about how you carry yourself. Self-image is a really big deal. Everything you post about your dog, every picture of your dog, every video of your dog, everything you post is promotion. Even if it's a picture of your dog on the couch, that's promotion. You have to care about the way you present yourself, your dogs. You see some people that post dogs with dirty clothes, nasty crates and stuff like that. Like, that's not good promotion. Even if your dog did chew up a toy, or it got a hold of a boot, or it got a hold of a shirt or whatever, ripped it up in the crate, whatever, don't post that. Clean that shit up. Then you can post a picture of your dog. Just keep it clean. Like, promotion's a really big deal. So getting starting in promotion, it's all about promoting positive stuff, and everything that you post needs to be a good picture of your dog. There's always a bad angle you can take of a dog. Always. So if it's a bad angle of a dog and it doesn't do justice to your dog, don't post a picture. You may take 10 pictures, 15 pictures, 20 pictures to get that one picture that you need to post. And people always remember the bad. You know, if they see one bad angle of your dog, that's what they're going to always remember. They're not going to remember the other 30 good ones you have on your page. So promoting is a really big deal. You have to promote your dog in a good light. You can always take bad angles. You've got to care about everything that you post. Every angle of your dog really matters. Don't post bad pictures of your dogs. Even if it takes 30 pictures of your dog sitting on the couch to get the one that does justice to his headpiece, or, you know, his bone, or, you know, however he looks, the back length, whatever it may be. Take 30 pictures if it takes to get that one good picture. Everything you post is promotion. From when that dog's a puppy to, you know, however old the dog is. Everything you post is promotion. Keep your posts always positive. Don't post trashy or negative stuff. Don't bash people. You know, just keep it classy, keep it positive, and always post your dog in a good light. Never post your dog in a bad light. That's a big deal on promotion, because people are always going to go look. They're going to check out your videos and stuff. They're going to check out your pictures. And to me, I think the little things like that really matter a lot. Another thing I'll say is, like, a lot of times you'll see a nice stud, or you'll see a dog that was bred that you really want to use, or something real bad. I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, you go to these people's pages, you click on photos or reels, and then you go to videos or reels, and you never see a video of their dog at all. If they're doing that, 9 times out of 10, they're photoshopping every single picture they post. Every single one of them. And if you don't have any videos of your dog at all, I'm not using your stud. Period. So promotion's a big deal. Videos are a big deal. What pictures you post are a big deal, and what videos you post are a really big deal. Especially if somebody knows what they're looking at. So that's going to wrap it up on the promotion part of it, like how to get started promoting. That is a super tricky question, because there's a lot of different ways to promote. But like I say, I think the best way to do is just keep it clean, classy, always post your dog in a good light, care about your self-image, and always stay positive. We're going to move on to the next question. All right, guys, the next question is how to consistently stay relevant. And I think if you're doing things right, it's not going to be hard to stay relevant. If you're producing nice dogs, people are going to notice. If you're posting good videos, you're posting good pictures, you're producing nice dogs, you're putting together really good breedings, it's kind of hard to not stay relevant, especially if you're producing champions. Try to put together something completely unique that nobody else has. And then always try to keep your product in your pedigree. That's a big deal. So always try to keep your production in the ped. Because if you're not, all you're doing is just using somebody else's stuff. So then that gives somebody else all the hype that you have going. A lot of times dogs are hyped up for a reason, because they actually are the real deal. You want to keep some nice hype in your pedigree. I don't care how good of a breeder you are, you're always going to be needing to improve. You always need to bring in new studs. Always. You're not going to build a whole entire yard off of just one freaking dog. I don't care. One dog is never going to be enough to build on. That's why it's called a bloodline. It's not just one dog. It's a line of dogs that you're building. Don't get caught up and don't get kennel blind. That's one way you're going to stay relevant, is using other people's really nice studs to bring in certain features and traits that you need to improve on. And like I said, you're always going to be working on improving. That's one of the biggest things. And when you keep your dogs in the pedigree, like, oh, I put these two dogs together, they're my productions, or this was my production, this was not. I produced a really nice dog, obviously that is my production. Okay, I'm going to take that dog, I'm going to outcross, use another dog to that dog to improve that dog's traits, produce something better. Then that's your production as well. You're third generation in, so you're working on what you have going. That's one way to really stay relevant, is to keep your blood going. Because if you're a breeder, you're building a bloodline. You don't want to keep using somebody else's blood for 7 years straight. Because at that point, it's like, are you keeping anything off your breedings? Are you succeeding? Are you a successful breeder? Because if you're not, then you're going to keep using everybody else's stuff left and right. You're going to keep buying other people's females. You're going to keep using other people's studs. So try to keep what you have going. Sometimes you do need to outsource. Sometimes you do need to go buy another female to get some younger females in there. Or maybe you only started with 1 or 2 females, not 4 or 5. That plays a role too. But I'm just saying, if you want to stay relevant, you need to produce nice dogs. It's not going to be hard after you produce a couple champions, you produce some nice dogs, you promote really well. That's one really big thing. If you're not promoting well, everybody else is. There's a lot of people out there working their butts off, promoting really, really hard. If you're slacking on that, you're not going to do well, okay? You're not going to be successful if you're not promoting hard. So that's a really big deal. Promotion is probably the biggest when it comes to being relevant. If you're not promoting good, you're not posting good pictures, quality pictures of your dog. If you haven't learned how to take pictures yet, you need to go learn how to take pictures. Go do some trial and error. Go set your dog up, stack it up, take some pictures, use hills to your angles, different lighting. You got to figure out what works best for you. The best camera setup that you like, whatever. But we've done it for a long time, which is a straight up cell phone. And that works fine too. But you got to have want to. You have to have it in you. Nobody else is going to do the work for you 24/7. You can't just go pay a photographer every time you need pictures, okay? You got to be able to promote your butt off, produce nice dogs, and show that you're producing nice dogs. Who's going to be able to show that, how good and how nice your dogs are besides you? No one. You know what you put together. You know what you're trying to show off. You kept the dog for a reason because you improved on this and that. So now show it off. That's your job. Your job is to promote and show off what you improved on. Show off your production. Like I said, you don't want to keep using everybody else's productions later on down the line, because if you're a breeder, you're building a bloodline. That's what you're doing. Yes, it's okay to use other people's stuff because you need to improve. You always have improvement. You always need something new. Always. But like I said, you want to try to keep what you have going. Maybe the first generation or two, just worry about keeping nice females. Okay? Improve on some traits that you had that you need to work on. And then use another stud to those 2 females you kept. Improve. Move forward. That's what it's all about. But keep your brand relevant in your pedigree. Otherwise, people are going to look at what you're doing and they're only going to see your name. They're only going to see your kennel in there one time in a 4 or 5 generation pedigree. That's a big deal. Anyways, that's it for today, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment below. We love doing these Q&As. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at bully.barn.b. Follow us on Facebook at Bully Barn. My number is 405-568-6846. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a text or call. You guys have a good one.